Good evening, I'm Vincent Makori. This is Africa 54. Well, in an effort to calm fears and lower the rhetoric of their supporters ahead of Saturday's election, Nigeria's two leading presidential candidates signed a second peace accord Thursday, promising to hold peaceful polls and not incite religious or ethnic tensions. Incumbent Goodluck Jonathan of the People's Democratic Party and his rival Muhammadu Buhari of the People's Progressive Congress called on all citizens and their party supporters to refrain from violence. They signed a similar peace accord in January. In 2011, around 800 people died in Nigeria during post-election violence. Well, for the latest election news, VOA West Africa correspondent Anne Luke joins us live from Abuja, Nigeria. Anne, welcome. And you were there. They signed this accord. But to give us a sense of what do people think of it? How significant is this peace accord?
Yeah, it's hard to say. I mean, it's definitely not a bad thing, and maybe it's a vote of confidence. But, you know, I mean, it was kind of a conditional accord. Buhari and President Jonathan said they will accept the results of a free, fair, and credible election. So that still leaves the way open for someone to say, oh, listen, we don't think that this was done correctly. We think something funny happened, and so we're going to reject these results and we're going to contest them.
Now, they did sign another one in January. Why did they need to sign a second accord?
You know, they said it was a renewal. That's literally what it's called, a renewal of the peace accord signed in January. And maybe just a chance to remind people, maybe also in an attempt to, remind their supporters to stay calm and not get up to anything over the weekend, but also maybe just to reassure the general public of their commitment to keeping things peaceful.
Now, Anne, we've seen a few skirmishes here and there during political rallies. What is your reading of the temperatures at this point?
Yeah, I mean, there are definitely tensions, but I think there also is I get a sense of fatigue as well, that people do want this to go well, that people are aware that in the past, you know, when things turn violent, it's kind of the average folks who suffered. So I think people are aware of that. And I think I get the sense people really want to vote. They're really anxious to see this election happen, and they just want it to go well and to move on with their lives.
Looking around town and all the other places you've been, do you see a presence of security personnel that at least can give people some reassurance?
You know, I've definitely seen quite a few police whirring around Abuja today. I hear from a colleague who just drove up north to Kano that there are lots of checkpoints on the road. He said that, you know, the road is packed. People are, you know, rushing to get home before this restriction on movement starts on Friday. But, you know, he said that it seemed relatively calm. You know, there wasn't anything extra special about the checkpoints or anything, just kind of a ramped up presence.
We know that the authorities there decided to close all the border points. What is the significance of this? Can you give us some details?
I mean, maybe they just kind of want to lock down the country. You could also, you know, the Inspector General of Police did say this week that they're using customs and immigration officials to help with election security, to help with security, securing polling places, securing election workers. So it could have also just been a very practical measure of, you know, we need to shut borders so we can concentrate on securing these elections. There also is something to be said for an abundance of caution, for reassuring people, for maybe just locking down any way anything could go wrong and allowing themselves to just focus on the election.
Now, the other question is that of people who have been forced to run away from their homes, the IDPs and those who even crossed over to other countries. Is that being discussed?
Not as much as before. I mean, keep in mind the IDPs, the only way they can vote is if they, A, have picked up their PVC, their permanent voter card, and B, for example, Borno State residents need to vote in Maiduguri. So if you're an IDP that's in a camp in Maiduguri or you have sought refuge there, you can vote there. But if you're, for example, a Borno State resident who's gone further south, if you're not willing to go up to Maiduguri to vote, then you don't get to cast your ballot.
Finally, the campaign rallies are officially over. Is it now going to be just a wait time until Saturday?
Definitely a wait and see time. I think everything feels fairly calm for now, I'll say.
Hey, and thanks, and stay safe, okay? Thanks a lot.
Thanks.
Well, the viewers, Anne Luke reporting live from Abuja in Nigeria.